You know what I mean? One of the beautiful things about Jesus, man, when he was on the cross, man, he refused to defend himself.
Yeah.
Like, he was quiet. When Pilate was asking him questions and all, he gave some more smart mouth answers, but besides, he was quiet.
Yeah.
They weren't smart mouth. It was philosophical. We'll call it. It was deep. He got deep with my man. But he was quiet. He didn't defend himself because he knew what he was about.
Right.
He knew who he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know who I am. And I know what I'm about. So therefore, if you are putting false accusations on me, and your attempt is to belittle and entice me,
right,
then I'm not gonna get involved with it. So even in those meetings, man, I was quiet, and maybe this is probably why Jesus was pissing people off, because he was quiet.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't resisting.
Yeah.
He was like, y'all do what y'all gotta do. Same thing with the civil rights movement. It's something about when people come to you with bad energy and you don't respond, that just like piss them off more. You know what I mean? So I kept it quiet in there too, Trav. I was getting talked to pretty much like a dog, man. And I was quiet, and my man would say things that were blatantly untrue, and it would kind of make me chuckle, right? Cause he was so mad, I could visually see it. Like, he was pissed, and it was kind of becoming funny to me. You know what I mean? So I would chuckle, and man, boy, he would really hit the roof. Telling me stuff like, wipe the smile off my face and all that. I was like, sure. But so that happened, man. But man, just the beauty of it on the other side. You know what I mean? My division manager caught wind that I was very dissatisfied with how things went, very dissatisfied with the performance of HR or whatever. And I want to take my talents elsewhere. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he caught wind of that, and we had to have a sit down. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, listen, man, no, cause child, for all the talking that my man was doing, there's 6 elements that I'm judged on. Mm-hmm. I'm off plan on one of those elements, and though I am off plan, I am much better than the building has done historically. Right? The element is misloads, and there was a time that building had 100. Like 100 misload was the average. 100 packages loaded onto the wrong truck every day. Yeah. Right? My average is probably around 23, 24. That's where I average out at. Yeah. All right? We touch about 24,000 packages a day, and I put 24 of them on the wrong truck. Yeah. All right? What's that, like 0.01%? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's some number that's almost irrelevant. Right. In my mind, it's the price of doing business. But my man's vision is for that number to be like 4. Mm-hmm. And listen, I respect that vision. I really do. And just because it's my boss's vision, I actually desire to get to it. Right. But it's not going to happen overnight. Right? Like, I'm going to incorporate the methods that you feel will work to get us to that number. Right? The plan that you try to put together to get us to that number. But at the end of the day, child, that it does not happen overnight. Long story short, man, all this happened. Went to lunch with my big boss. And ever since I went to lunch with my big boss and my big boss talked to my direct boss, things have been a lot smoother. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, my man coming at me different and all this, but I didn't have to defend myself. Right? First and foremost, my character spoke for me. Mm-hmm. There was a guy who was in the office when he first approached me after that email. He was in the office with me. And me and this dude have a little bit of a relationship, but not really. But the thing is, I'm the only black supervisor. Right. I'm the only black full-time supervisor. And I'm about 20 years minus the next person's senior. Right? I'm probably 20 years younger than the next supervisor closest to my age. Right. So this guy's way older than me. We got totally different cultures. Like, my man's so country, I often have to say, what you say? You know what I mean? Like, I'll be like, to me, it sounds like bro talking with candy in his mouth. You know what I mean? Like, I can't understand nothing. So, but he went to bat for me. You know what I mean? He went to HR on his own volition with no interaction with me and said, hey, that man was unprofessional when he approached CJ the other day. And CJ didn't do a thing. Like, CJ just sat there. He just sat there. He didn't say anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Went and told HR that on his own with I didn't ask him to. We didn't even have a conversation about it. As soon as the guy walked out the office, I walked out the office. I was going to a meeting. I was on the way to a meeting. You know what I mean? But man, we often talk about being water, Trav.
Yeah.
And I think just to break that down, water is so adjustable. It does not force its own way.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to put it in a stream, if you want to send it down a waterfall, if you want to put it in a water hose, if you want to put it in a cup and drink it, if you want to fill up your turtle tank with it,
yeah.
like whatever you may want to do with it, you want to spit it, it's cool.
Yeah.
Right? You want to put me in a tube, whatever you want to drop me from the sky.
Yeah.
You want to put me in a water balloon. You want to put me in, like, it don't matter what. You want to put me in a toy gun? What you want to do?
Yeah,
like,
squirt me out.
Yeah, you gonna squirt me out. You want to put some pressure on me?
Yeah.
You want to put a rock in front of me? However you want to do it, I can make it happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna resist you. I'm just gonna adjust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do not insist on my own way. And 1 Corinthians, let me not be myself wrong. What is it? Is it 4 and 8? Love chapter. I hope I'm not putting the wrong verses out there. I believe that's what it is. Yeah, see if you can look it up for me. I think it's 1 Corinthians 4 and 8. When we talk about love, one of the descriptions of love is that it does not insist on its own way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It does not insist that it go my way. Right? Because if I wanted to, I could have made that situation go my way right then. Right? As far as me getting my respect, oh man, I could have got it right then. You know what I'm saying? Like we could have got some straightening right then. Like I could have let her know, hey homeboy, no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But why? Because clearly he got the picture.
Right.
You know what I mean? Clearly the same message has been sent with really no stress on my part. No added stress, no regrets on my end. It actually has given me strength for the journey.
Right.
It made me feel well, it made me feel victorious.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, that was my week too, man. Just very similar to yours, very similar to everybody who listening, man. This just same challenges, different industries.
Yeah.
Right? It's just stuff outside your control and how you deal with it. That's pretty much life in a nutshell. Stuff outside your control and how you deal with it.
Yeah, you just say you gotta also just learn how to be that water, man.
Yeah, man.
And that'll take you a long way. Yeah, you say, man, that water get through a mountain if you let it. It may not get through it today. It may not get through it tomorrow. It may not get through it a month from now. But it's gonna adjust and do what it needs to do to get to that other side.
It's going to make it.
It's gonna make it.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you say, that's just how people gotta, just be that water, man. Be more aware. Be more mindful.
Hey, speak on the water. From your perspective.
Well, from our perspective, man, that water is just, like you say, man, we deal with a lot of negative vibes and energy that comes throughout the week, man. So me being that water, like if I have a negative interaction with somebody at work, they rude or say something that I don't agree with, or maybe they talk to a child the way that I don't agree. And I might say, hey, I don't think you should, really be saying that. And they respond with whatever they want to respond with, and it's not to my liking, man. Just being that water is like, I'm not gonna hold that against them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And yeah, it kind of made me upset, but I'm gonna take that negative thought and I'm gonna replace it with a positive one. So that same day, when
can I stop you for 1 second?
Okay.
You say you're gonna take the positive thought.
Mm-hmm. Get rid of the negative thought and replace it with a positive.
What you mean when you say you're gonna take it? What's the first step you're gonna do? Like to take it, how do you take it?
What you mean?
So when you say take it, do you mean that you become aware of it You say I'm gonna take the negative thought and turn it into a positive thought, but I'm talking about the verb to take. What
I got you. Yeah, just to become aware of it.
Okay.
To be like, okay, yeah, I see. I'm having a negative thought about it, but let's go ahead and make the proper adjustments that water and put something positive right.
So when people say to take a thought, they mean to become aware of it.
Become aware of it.
Okay.
Right.
Because this one thing, and I've expressed this before, like sitting in church, they would say take a thought captive. Take any thought that raises itself against the true knowledge of God captive and my thing is, what do you mean when you say take it?
Right.
Like it throw me off because I'm a real practical person. You know what I'm saying? Like, like this brain surgery? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And to some people, it may make sense. Just like that. Like to take it may make sense to them. But I feel like it's an assumption to assume that everybody understands what you mean when you say to take.
Right. Okay.
Like, take it well. So you mean to become aware of it.
Right.
So when you take it, you're not on autopilot anymore. Right? You're not on this subconscious programming. You are consciously aware of what's going on in the moment. Mm-hmm. So you feel that this thought has irritated you or this response has irritated you. You can feel the irritation. You can feel the frustration. And in that moment, you take it from a subconscious process to a conscious process. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm actually thinking through it now.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah, like you say, you actually I actually think through it, become aware of that thought and be like, okay, well, I'm just going to, first off, you just going to walk away, you know what I'm saying? And then, like I say, replace that negative thought with a positive thought. Even if it's just thinking to yourself, man, what can I do to make the situation better? Or what can I do to make myself and maybe even them feel better? You know what I'm saying? Just because, like I said, I know they may be going through something that made them respond to me the way they did.
Right.
So I'm not gonna hold that against them. I'm not gonna hold no grudge. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, same day, I'm in the copy. I'm getting ready to copy. And another teacher walk in. Might have been the same teacher that said something earlier to me. I'm like, go ahead, man. You go ahead.
Right.
Wait, I ain't in no rush. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? And then they said, thank you. This and that. You could, even though it was just that minor, I was that water. I adjusted to that situation, and I feel like not only did I make myself feel better, but they felt better too. Even if it was just a little drip.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's.
You know what I noticed about the big situations? You said that you replaced the thought with a positive one. With the big situations, like the strong emotional ones, the replacing is not a one-time thing.
Right.
Like you have to do it over. First of all, you have to take, become aware, and replace over and over and over and over. Right? Like it's like that I can get at you for a minute. But when you said the thing about the copy of what I've noticed about those type of emotions, those big ones, I usually overcome them when the action or the resolution is reached. Mm-hmm. Like once I make a loving act towards that person, and I suppose that you can make a loving act. Like you may be able to vocalize, I forgive or whatever, and it may subside. Yeah. But like the example of at the copier, at that point, now you've exerted your power. Mm-hmm. Right? And now I'm sure at that point it has completely resolved at that point. You know what I mean? Yeah. That the love chapter is 1 Corinthians 13, chapter 13, verses 4 through 8. Okay. That's what it is. I don't remember what I said, but it's 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. But one of those descriptions does say that love does not insist upon its own way. Right. Right. Just getting back to both of our weeks, man. One thing I really enjoy about the week, and I came through this realization like halfway through, because like I just said, man, the thoughts with my man were constant. Like they were constantly taking me out of the present moment. I was either going back to the meeting or forward to whatever the future situation was going to be. Like it was just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I would have to be like, nah, I'm reading right now. Yeah. Like, nah, I'm washing dishes right now. Nah, I'm walking the dog right now. You know what I'm saying? Like constantly having to come back to the present moment. And then I came to understand like, boy, this is real good practice for what I got going on. Yeah. Like, Because it's not always like that. You know what I mean? It takes a situation like that for it to get to that point to where it's so constant like that. Like the mind is always roaming, don't get me wrong, but roaming on the same thing, like you stressing something, you know what I mean? It's different, right? And I even became to respect the situation. Like, that started really making me better, especially when I was actually doing what I desired to do in the situation. Because I told you, man, that Obama picture popped in my head. When I think about poise and I think about holding your composure, and you know who else is real careful with his words? Obama. Like when he get up to give a speech, it might take a minute. Cause he gonna be real particular. He gonna hit you with some arms. He gonna have his hands like this. I have my thumb finger up to my index finger, and that little pose that my man hold when he really thinking on something and he about to get it out, right? And he give it to you. It comes out so succinct and it comes out beautiful, man. The man is a great orator. But like I said, man, when I think about poise, that's who comes to my mind, and I'm like, man, like this is really turning me into that image that I see in my head. This is the image that I really desire to be, right? Like, not what people think I should be, not what I've been raised to be. This is who I really want to be. I don't want to be angry with every situation. Like, it takes too much effort. It takes too much time. And then you feel so bad afterwards. You know how good I felt this week after all these encounters, bro? Like, bro, I felt like a boss. Like, and then it's encouraging other people, because when I tell other people, they're like, "But what?" You know what I'm saying? And my daddy wanted, not my man. My daddy wanted to get physical. You know what I'm saying? My daddy wanted to get physical. You know what I mean? That was his reaction to it. But to my friends, man, it's been encouraging. Like, boy, I'm proud of you, boy. Like, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I can let somebody talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? And I keep telling people the same thing. Like, he wasn't talking to me. Like, genuinely, like, honestly, he wasn't talking to me. And you know something else, Cheryl? With difficult people, man, another understanding you got to really come to for yourself, man, is that's not really that person. Like, that's not who they are. That's a conditional response. Like, that's not that man, Cheryl. That's not who he really is. I bet you some people know him probably as a loving father, or as a loving husband, as a provider, as all kind of titles.
It's just that work switch.
Yeah, that's who he has conditioned or allowed himself to be conditioned to be at work. That's probably a belief that somebody else has fed him that he has just attached to, and I'm sure he's not even aware of it. I'm sure that most of the time he comes aware of it after the moment, right? Like after he goes up in his office and he's by himself and he's calmed down, then he becomes aware and he probably feels like crap afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Probably feels like crap, but he probably feels like crap because he understands that, man, in those moments, I can't get control. And you might, I said this before, man, you might feel like you're in control in those situations, but truly you out of control. You know what I'm saying? This was the first time really in a situation like that I can say I've been in control. Like I genuinely had control of myself. Because when my man first kicked the door in, I'm telling you, 100 thoughts went through my head, bro. Literally. And I had to choose one quick. But one thing I've been practicing lately, bro, is like, when in doubt, don't do nothing. Silence and stillness have become two of my best friends. To be silent and to be still. Like, when in moments of doubt, I'll shut my mouth. If I don't know what to say, I'll say nothing. If I don't know what to do, I don't move.
Listen, man. It's funny as you just say that. Like I think I was telling you this earlier this week. My routine every day in the morning on my way to work, man, I listen to the same 3 songs.
Man, listen, we got to get off of doing that on our YouTube channel. Because when I go back to my library trying to find videos the same 3 songs are on there every single time. And I finally, because one day I was like, bro, I'm not searching this stuff. But I was thinking I was on my YouTube page. I'm on our YouTube page. I'm like, this man legit listen to the same. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. And one of those songs is if Fred Hammond be a fence.
Yeah.
In that song, he says, the Lord said he gonna fight my battles if I keep still.
Right. Ooh, he do say that. Yeah.
So that's what it's like you say, man. The best thing is, like you said, stillness and quietness. It just be that water, and everything gonna work out.
He do say that. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Be still and know that I am the Lord." I believe is what it says. Be still, bro. Be still. This barbershop talk, dog.
Yeah.
Just kind of wrapping it up, man. I think just maybe go ahead and close it out, man. Just with some encouragement, man. If I can give any encouragement, man, I would say that this world is bound by laws, right?
Yeah.
It's bound by laws. And the best encouragement I can give is don't pick and choose the ones you're going to follow. Like, don't respect gravity, the law of gravity, the law of electricity. Don't respect, like, you don't walk around putting forks in wall sockets. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get down like that. You don't just jump off of buildings. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You respect those laws. And we are bound by so many more laws, man. Natural laws and spiritual laws. You know what I'm saying? Physical laws and spiritual laws.
Yeah.
And the spiritual ones are important too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they really are important, man. And I think the law of all laws are spiritual, as far as spiritual laws are concerned, is reaping and sowing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you gonna reap what you sow. Therefore, be very mindful of what you sow. Be very mindful of what comes out your mouth. You know, one thing I've had to watch saying, like, if people say something negative, I was quick to say, yeah, well, I know, right? You know, like, I agree with it.
Yeah.
I had to keep control over that. And, bro, it don't put me in some situations that are seemingly awkward. People say something, I just sit there like, you know, I'm quiet. I'm like,
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, I sure did. But I don't feel you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I ain't about to preach to you and beat you down. Like, that's your opinion. I'm just not going to agree with it. And I've just come up with clever ways to not have to respond to it. And I think my silence has allowed some people to get the picture. Because now, I mean, people kind of know what to take it and what not to take it with me now. And I don't have to really open my mouth and get into no debate or anything. Just quiet. They don't get the desired reaction. After so many times not getting the desired reaction, you'll stop. You eventually stop, right?
Yeah.
But man, just to encourage people, man, like, man, it's spiritual laws, man, and you really you have to become aware of those spiritual laws because they govern your life. One thing about a law, whether you're aware of it or not, it still affects you. Like, you don't have to know anything about gravity.
Yeah.
You don't have to know anything about electricity. But like I said, I dare you to I dare you, I double dog dare you to stick some metal up in there. Yeah. And it don't matter if you know about it or not.
You don't know.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you tell a baby, like, don't touch the stove.
Yeah.
Because it don't matter if he know that the stove is hot or not. Like, that part don't matter. It's still going to burn you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, your knowledge of a law doesn't matter. So it's not good to have these things controlling how your life operates and you have no knowledge base of them.
Right.
And they're controlling everything, every aspect of your life. How successful your life goes. And man, a lot of people are unknowingly really like sabotaging themselves, right?
Every day.
They really sabotaging themselves, man. Had I gone back at that man with anger, you know what I would have shown in my life? More anger.
Yep.
I would have shown more angry situations, right? More angry interactions between not only me and him, but other places. I told you about the traffic thing, man.
Yeah.
And this the thing. Today, I was in traffic. I was going to meet my homeboy. We were originally supposed to meet at the Overthrow Mall for lunch. So I hopped on 516 leaving out of Berwick.
Mm-hmm.
Now I hopped on 204 leaving out of Berwick, right, to go to the Overthrow Mall. And then as soon as I hit on 204, it's traffic. And I'm like, And my first thought, I saw a bunch of people busting U-turns. I'm like, I'm about to bust a U-turn. And then I'm like, man, I'm not going to bust no U-turn. I'm going to sit it out because this could just be a wreck. Yeah. There's no reason at this point in the day that this is stretched all the way to the Savannah Mall. You know what I mean? So I set it out, right? And not only did I set it out, once I got through that, I got to that new bypass on Truman off of Albuquerque. Mm-hmm. And you can go one way to go to White Bluff, but if you get on the actual bypass, the first exit is Whitfield.
Mm-hmm.
I messed up and got on the actual bypass. And I was like, dang, like I'm really tripping today. First of all, I came the wrong way, and now I'm going the wrong way again. And then guess what? Bruh called me and was like, hey man, I don't want to be at the mall no more. Meet me at that Carrie Hills on Waters. Whitfield turns into Waters.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like we said, man, being water, man, just being non-resistant. Because had I turned around on the traffic, I'd have put myself all the way out of the way. Because I'd ended up on Durant, right? Going down 516 and all this, that, and the third. I'd have ended up on Durant at that point.
Yeah.
Right? And then, just with the Whitfield thing, I think that was just a byproduct of me just going with the flow. Because even when I got on down, I was like, dang, I made a wrong turn. I was like, oh, that's good. I'll just go down here and turn around on Whitfield and come on back.
Yeah.
And before I could get the opportunity to turn around, the man called me, and why Carrie Hills on Waters? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why that?
About that Carrie Hills.
Yeah. Why that? Why did he want to just meet there just out of the blue, man?
Yeah, that's crazy.
They say, man, I heard a good saying that says, coincidences are God's way of staying anonymous.
Yeah.
You know, coincidences are God's way of staying anonymous. So, yeah, man, like I said, man, words of encouragement. Learn those spiritual laws that govern your life. You can Google it. Like, you can literally Google spiritual laws.
Yeah.
Boom. And it'll give you a bunch of them. Or you can read your Bible. Whatever, not just your Bible, right? Whatever spiritual, I mean, there are all kind of spiritual writing. And I'm not going to just subject it to the Bible.
Right.
That's not my personal belief. I don't believe I read all kind of literature. I'm interested in growth and learning. And I don't agree with everything I read, but I read nevertheless.
Right.
Right? I feel like I'm grown enough to make a decision about what I believe and what I don't believe. Just because I read it does not mean that it's going to affect my belief system. Right. I know how beliefs are formed now because I've become knowledgeable of it, right? Mm-hmm. Beliefs had to be worked at to be formed. They had to be constantly reinforced. And I would not reinforce something that I don't believe in.
Right.
Chad, what you got, man?
Man, you really said it, man. But like you said, man, you gotta reap what you sow, man. If you sow seeds of anger, then that's what you're gonna get back in your life. If you sow seeds of frustration and all the negative vibes, energy, and
doubt and
worry, stress, and that's what kind of plants you gonna grow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And those plants they gonna affect everything around you too. So. Yeah, man, just like you say, be careful what you sow, man, and be aware. Be aware of your thoughts. Be mindful of your thoughts. Be that water, man. Adjust.
Always be willing to adjust.
Always be willing.
Don't insist on what you feel is right. Just, have a spirit of acceptance.
Yeah.
Right? And the understanding that you are more powerful than any situation. And man, if you really knew the power within you, man, I'm now confident that I had the power to be quiet in any situation.
I had a coworker, man. She's trying to go like doing a little. She's like, all right, my goal for the day is not to say anything negative. You know what I'm saying? Not to say anything or think anything negative. Like at least you started.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got a goal you set out to do. And then she'll tell me, I already messed up for the day. What? I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Because no, it's definitely not gonna be an easy process. It's not easy at all. But once it start working for you, then you will want it.
Yeah, it's just like when you first start noticing results from the gym.
Yeah.
Right. Then you're a little more encouraged, man. We closing for real. But just on the real, man, because you just said that, man, bro, you gotta love yourself first. You know what I mean? And you gotta love yourself through every process, man. Like I eat very healthy, but man, I just stopped and got me a strawberry milkshake before I came over here, Charles.
Yeah. And
I don't feel bad, bro. Like I refuse to feel bad about drinking, but it was so good, bro. I ain't had one in a long time, Charles. It was good, but it's not a. I had to come to this point because I used to beat myself up. It's not about perfection, man. It's about practice and consistency.
Yeah.
Like I used to get upset with myself if my mind would wander off. And I'm like, bro, I have absolutely no control over that job.
Yeah.
Like now I'm actually happy when I notice it and I bring it back.
Yeah.
I give myself credit for that. Like, oh yeah, I caught it. I caught one. You know what I'm saying? So, man, find ways to encourage yourself, man, not to beat yourself up. And don't let your mind do that to you. You know what I mean? Even that is a conditional response.
Yeah.
Beating yourself up is conditioned, right? It's something that you just usually do. And you can change anything you want to change. It just takes practice. Hey, we always want you to subscribe, comment, share, repost. We say it all the time, but I'm serious. We want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Want to know what you think, want to know how you feel, and we want you to let other people hear what we're talking about. Let us know if you think it's relevant.
Yeah.
Let us know how you feel about it, how it affects your life. You may have even better examples than we do. All kind of examples. Some triumph, some quote unquote defeat or failures, but everything is something to learn from, right? I learned from the situation I had last week in which I feel triumphant just as much as I learned from all the times that I've blown up.
Right.
I've learned from both of them equally. They have both taught me plenty. So no experience is a bad experience if you can learn from it. No situation is a bad situation if you can learn from it. Everything is beneficial. For this I know, all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his design and purpose. Romans 8:28. I think I got that one.
Yeah.
All right. So, man, keep the faith. Keep the thought stream positive, man. Continue to see yourself as that image of water. Find somebody who you believe is poised, right? Somebody who represents poise and consistency, and hold that image of them in your head. You know what I'm saying? It might be Jesus Christ for you. That's cool. I like my man Obama. It's Obama for me. You know what I'm saying? And again, let's get this information in the hands of as many people as possible. Let's continue to grow. Let's start a movement, man. Let's really change some things, not only for our community, but for the world as a whole. Yeah. We out. She said she'd never turn